Hello, my name is Isabel Macias. I am here with my
Dada,
and what is your name?
Sofia,
Sofia. We're going to tell you about our roots. How is our roots? Where are from? Where we came from? And how is it important for us to know our roots? Okay, I will start first with Sofia. That is a continue of my root. He has 6 years old. She works in Chile. We are from them. That is in South America, Chile, and she is a very kind person, very sensible person. She always wants to help the other people. I am Isabel Macias. I am 43 years old, and I born in Santiago de Chile too. And I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. We are 5. I live in Santiago de Chile until I was 6 years. Then I moved to live to Iquique, and then I was there until the year 24. In that place I started studying architecture, and then I went to Viña del Mar, where I finished my career of architect. Then I moved to Santiago de Chile. That is the main city of Chile, and there I met the parents of Sofia. We lived there, and then we have to go separate, and we returned to Iquique to live until now that we arrived here to Houston, to the United States, to have our new adventure with my daughter. So, but who are my parents and father? My parents are Maria Cecilia Araya and Leopoldo Macias Laderich. First, we are going to start with telling you the roots of my mother. Who are Maria Cecilia Araya? Maria Cecilia Araya is a very kind person. She was born in December 29, 1952. She is an elementary teacher, and she lives in Iquique, and he is a very strong person. She loves to have all their kids join her, and he's a very labor person. He loves to work. Until last year he was making classes and loved to get and to help kids for their knowledge. The parents of my mothers are Fernando Araya Stiglitz and Lucy Granifo Harms. With those grandmother and grandparent, I have a very joint relationship. They are died, unfortunately, but yes, we were very, very joined. I always go to their house. I used to live with them, not in the same house. We live nearby. So yes, and sometimes I see in the dreams them, and it's very hard to me to talk for them because I miss it so much. Okay, and who are the mothers and parents of my grandmother, Lucy Granifo? There was Luisa Pacheco and Victor Granifo de la Jara. Victor Granifo de la Jara have a very important position in the army of Chile. Okay, and her spouse died very young, so my grandmother didn't know so much her mother. My grandmother born in Tacna when they were fighting between us of Chile, and then they lost Tacna, so she became a Chilean. Her nationality is from Chile. What historical milestone we can have of them? Something we always want to know. What are the important things they don't know, and something that we have to go, and how the roots we are going to put here in this world. Here I can see that they were a major of the army, and also the parents of sorry, and also the parents of her spouse, of my grandmother, was a general in the army. So here we have both things. But the things are that the father of my grandmother was in the army, was a general, but also he loves the politics. So he wrote books, he wrote in the newsletter. He always making like polemics in the political situation that was Chile in this world that we were having with Peru and Bolivia. So this is how here I put one of her books that he wrote. Then we are going to see Stiglitz. Stiglitz is my grandfather. Yes, I told you. Her name is Fernando Araya. Her two mother and sister. He was one of the 10. She has 10 brothers and sisters. Okay, the father was Felipe Araya, and also was in the army, and her mother was Ernestina Stiglitz Vera. The parents of my grandparents were Domingo Araya and Petra Flores. And we have Tomás Stiglitz, and the mother and father of my grandparents is Virginia Vera and Tomás Stiglitz, that born in Slovenia. Before this, I was telling you that in the government of Pérez Rosales, that was a minister in that year. Let me see the year that was here between 1855 and 1858. We have to colonize the south of Chile. Chile is a very long country, so there were no one want to go there because of the condition of the weather and all of that. So he has the missions to go to Europe and tell some Germany, go to Prussia, want to go to Denmark and Praga to look for people that wanted to be and colonize our country. And they took it and come here by boats. One of those were my ancestry, that was, let me see the name, Stephanus Stiglitz and her spouse, Anna Mesaros. So that is how this part of my family arrives to Chile in a boat, but to go to colonize the south of my country. Now we are going to talk about my father, Leopoldo Macías Ladevie. Okay, what can I tell about my father? The root of my father. My father, born in July 28, 1949. He's a very kind person. He always just wants to help people. And sometimes I think that my daughter is like that, and I have some roots of that. Yes, I love to help people and to be and take care of them, and yes, we think that I am more parents than more father. My father is very worker. Sometimes, yes, he's mad. Sometimes things he's a very, how can we say, the person that always want to be the things black or white, not gray. But instead of that, he's a very kind person. Her father was Leopoldo Macías Campos, and her mother was Elsa Ladevie. Her mother died with a disease of cancer when he was 14 years. So he never talked so much about her mother. It's a very, I don't know how to say, but he like blocked that part of his history. So we have to investigate a lot of that, because we don't know how we have to talk with our cousin, with our aunts, to know what, because my father don't want to talk about that. And okay, the father of my father, it's called Leopoldo Macías. We have 4 generations that has the same name, so it's very difficult to start looking too, because to have 4 generations of the same name, the same last name, we cannot see. Okay, the father of my grandfather, we don't know. we know that her mother was a single mother. We just realize now that looking for this, making these roots of our family, we realize that her mother was from Europe, but all her documents and all of that they throw out because she was a single mother, and in that time you cannot be a single mother. She married with another person that was an Italian, but it's not in our groups because they don't have more kids. So, and they come here to Chile. But the mother of my father, that was Elsa, her mother and her father was Edgar Frederick Ladevig and Julia Barnechea. Edgar Frederick, he has a very good story, yes, because you know that he was fighting in the First World War, and it was finished, the First World War, and he got a very bad disease. So they told his boss, okay, I want to die in America. I want to die in another continent, and you can take me with a boat. And all the person that was with disease, they took to the sea and got to the boat. I put the disease certification because they are in Europe, that it was in Denmark. They felt that he died, so they put that. And when he arrived to Chile, they make the born certification when he arrived here. So it's very untypical. I don't know how they managed in that time, but there in Denmark they thought that he was dying. And Julia Barnechea, that was the mother of my grandmother, was in a very traditional family in Chile, to the aristocrats, very high positions and all of that. So the ladies in that family has to be tough to get the service. So she went to this port of Valparaiso to receive this boat that was coming with very sick persons, and want to attend them, to get the disease, to have a better die. And then she fell in love with her husband, that was my grandfather. And you know that my grandfather lived 99 years, so he don't die. I remember him. I remember him. It was 3 generations, and it was very good to know that. And yes, was very sad when he died, but he died at 99 years. And then we have my DNN, but that DNN, in the first time when I made this is my DNN, I told them that I'm going to be Denmark and from Spain, and I think that we are from Europe.
Yeah.
So here says that we are 81% European. So, and that we have one of genetic part of Neanderthal. That is very weird. But when you start looking, the characteristic of that is good. So we have my ancestry. Okay, I know that this one, that I am more for my father, for my mother. All the persons tell me. All the people told me that. And yes, I love to go to get up earlier. I cannot be at bed until 7:30 a.m. I love to go to make so much activities in the morning. I am a morning person. And all my brothers and sisters bother me about that. But I love them. And now with this DNA, I realize that. Yes. And here it says how my genetic is going to be European, and how that it's moved. And yes, and there are very similar things. They move through Europe. They move through the Europe. They go to Australia and then come to North America. But the history told me that we come here from boats, going out from Europe and come here from boats. Maybe we have a lot of relatives that comes from another part, and that is telling me this. But I was right. I was like 90%. It's 81% of European. And you see, that is my story. And this book is going to be for my daughter to know us, and she has to continue our roots. It's very important for me that she knows my roots. She knows where we are from. And yes, because now maybe our roots is going to continue here in the United States. We don't know. Nobody knows what is going to happen. But the thing that I know, that I am very glad to be and to have these roots. And that is Sofia. Do you like the history?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
I like it so much?
Yeah.
Okay. See you. Bye.
Bye.